Are we on? We are on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. We are talking this evening about Iran. Iran is ready for an invasion. Listen, guys, let me be quite clear. This is my own speculation, analysis, and of course, all these videos are for entertainment purposes for you guys. But for you guys, we're triple streaming today, guys. We are on YouTube, we're on TikTok, and we are on, I think, is it Twitch? I think it's Twitch as well. So we are triple streaming. Before I get into this, what I want to caveat is this is going to be a relatively short live stream, okay? Depending on how many questions I get thrown at me, this is going to be a relatively short live stream. It's absolutely freezing in here today, guys. Like, this is I think this is the coldest I've been sat out here. I really need to get the heating sorted out here. We're going to be focusing on predominantly today on this live stream on what's happening in Iran, how Iran is ready for an invasion, how they're ready for some democracy. We are going to be talking about how the United Kingdom is already destabilized, and what to expect going forward, what to expect with further destabilization in the United Kingdom, what to expect with this conflict in Iran. And like, are you ready? Like, if you got this information right now, for example, I was just talking to you guys on TikTok earlier on. Oh, yeah, April Lee on TikTok is saying, is your friend in there the one with the bad knee? He is. He's literally sat over there, late April Lee. He sat down. He's complaining every 2 seconds. He's saying how cold it is, because it really is cold in here. There's no denying that. I think his complaints are. I think his complaints are valid. Did you say valid as well?
I did.
Yeah, I do think it. Yeah, guys, it is really cold in here. So let's get this live. Let's start this live stream without further ado. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start my opening monologue. Once I've done my opening monologue, I will turn you guys off on TikTok and I will just be streaming on YouTube. I'll probably be on YouTube for. Normally, I'm on YouTube for another hour or so. But like I said, guys, you know, it's absolutely free. Let me turn the chat on. Actually, it's really cold this evening, so I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible. So, without further ado, God. I'm going to give you guys context on Iran right now. So, as of today, December the 30th? Yeah. As of today, December the 3rd. Wow, we're almost in 2026. As of today, December the 23rd. As of today, December the 30th. I got there in the end. Protests in Iran have entered their third consecutive day, triggered by the Iranian rial, the currency in Iran, plunging to record lows and deepening an already severe economic crisis. These are the largest demonstrations since 2022-2023 Woman Life Freedom Uprising. They didn't really uprise much. And look, guys, before we get onto this, women in Iran don't like the oppression. That's the reality. Iranian women, they don't like living under Islamic law. That's the reality. They don't like it, Here in the West, we have a very peculiar situation where I'll come on to that afterwards. Let me finish with Iran. So I want to give everybody I want to give everybody context and situation on the ground in Iran. So this unrest in Iran began on December the 28th when shopkeepers and merchants in Tehran, the capital city of Iran's main market, Tehran, and major markets struck and protest because of the rial's collapse. By December the 29th, protests spread nationwide to cities, including there's Isfahan, Shiraz, Mashhad, Mamadan, Kashemi Island, with markets closing and people chanting against the high prices and the government. On December the 30th, today, demonstrations expanded to universities. Students held rallies, with some attempting to link campus actions to street protests amid heightened security. chants involved economic grievances to they started with economic grievances, but then they turned to political ones, i.e. death to the dictator, calls for a regime change, and slogans like Gaza, no Lebanon, my life for Iran. I'm not sure if that translates properly. Security forces have deployed heavy tactics using tear gas, batons, and direct gunfire. Direct gunfire warnings in areas like Taman's Mallet Street. Reports include arrests between 11 and 16 people noted. Injuries and clashes have been reported. Widespread lethal force or death. No widespread lethal force or deaths have been confirmed yet, but tensions are high in Iran. The rial hit a record low I think, over the weekend. And this is exacerbated by the rising rising cost of living in Iran. Now, look, you can imagine, just put yourself in this situation. Here in the United Kingdom, we know if we go out and we protest, we might get sent to jail for our opinion. In Iran, they are having executions on a phenomenal level. In Iran, they've had over 1,500 executions this year so far. Can you imagine how those people in Iran feel? And let's not pretend that Western governments are not pumping in propaganda. Let's not pretend that Western governments don't have troll farms. Let's not pretend that Western governments are pumping destabilization media into Iran. The central bank governor resigned yesterday on the 29th, and he's been replaced already. The situation remains fluid. Strikes continue. Universities are focal points. Nighttime chants persist despite crackdowns. While primarily economic, the rapid politicization poses a growing challenge to the regime stability. I'm just going to really quickly jump onto the United States response. So, because remember, if you've been following my channel, I've been saying all along, literally from day one, week one, I've been saying that the United States are going to go to Iran. We know, and look, guys, this is not me with some sort of crystal ball. This is me looking at what's happening, looking at these little laws that get passed with no one taking any notice and thinking, oh, why was that passed? So back in November, let me get it up, actually. Let me get this up and share it with you. Give me a sec. I've done this like loads of times, but... I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. Yeah, there we are. So when we're trying to understand what's happening, why we all these things have been put into law. So for you guys on YouTube, I'm going to share this with you really quickly. I'll literally just share it. It'll take 2 seconds if I can find the button. There we are. So why is the United States bothered? Why is the United States interested? Kind of doesn't matter because it's been passed in US law. And here's the US law here, guys, right? That little sentence there, okay? I'll read it out to you. This is House Resolution 599 declaring it policy of the United States that a nuclear Islamic Republic of Iran is not acceptable. What does that mean? And that this was passed on the 1st of November 2023. You guys can go check this out yourselves, right? Which states this resolution declares that it is policy of the United States, 1, to use all means necessary. I love that word, necessary. It's like such a Christopher Nolan word, right? To use all means necessary to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. And 2, to support the freedom of action of partners and allies to prevent Iran from obtaining Israel, and 2, to support freedom of action of partners to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. So We already know from 2023 that the United States are going to have a swizzle in Iran. It's already been set in stone. They're already using this as, but it's the United States. And that's where we are, guys. That is literally where we are right now. So and this is why it's so important, because for everybody who's thinking, like, even my Ukrainian friends, I told my Ukrainian friends long ago that the United States are gonna wipe their hands. And it's nothing personal. It's just business. It's just divide and conquer. It's Shang Tsung, whoever did that Art of War thing. It's just business. There's nothing personal. It's just business. So this is the United States' response to what's happening in, in Iran. The United States has voiced support for the protesters while trying comments to broaden pressure on Iran's leadership. President Donald Trump, speaking yesterday on the 29th of November alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, criticized Iran's handling of demonstrations. They kill people every time they have a riot. They kill people. They're starting to shoot people, and it's not what we do in the United States. Here in the United States, we don't shoot people because they're protesting. Anyway, he said something like that. He stopped short of calling for regime change, but warned against rebuilding nuclear or missile capabilities damaged in the June 2025 war, saying, "The United States, we'll knock the hell out of them, and we'll support potential Israeli airstrikes." So you understand now the dynamics of this. It's all about this nuclear capability, and you've got to understand these things from the Iranian side. The Iranians will be thinking, we need to build nuclear. That's not the Iranians, is it? I can't do an Iranian accent. I'm sorry. But the Iranians will be thinking, right, we need to build these nuclear weapons to thwart off Donald Trump's the United States airstrikes. Because ultimately, if you've got nuclear weapons, it's kind of a cheat code. It's kind of a cheat code because nobody wants none of that. Other United States officials have expressed solidarity. Incoming figures, the UN ambassador nominee has stated, "We stand with Iranians in the streets as they protest a radical regime that has brought them nothing but economic downturn and war." There's been no formal State Department announcements specifically on the protests as of today, December 30th. But the administration's maximum pressure policy, reimposed sanctions on and isolation, is widely seen as exacerbating the economic woes fueling the unrest. I got through that really quickly. Right, let me jump onto some of the chat, and then we'll talk about how the United Kingdom is being destabilized. Right, you guys on TikTok, I do apologize. I'm going to close you down for one reason, all right? For one reason only. I'm going to close you guys down on TikTok now for one reason, all right? If you guys want to continue the live stream, I'm going to be on for about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. If you want to continue this live stream, I'm doing the thing, aren't I? Right, I wasn't meaning that, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I didn't mean to do my one finger thing. Two reasons then. I'm going to go two reasons, all right? I'm going to close you guys down now on TikTok for two reasons. One, I want to have a carbonated drink, and if I have a carbonated drink, I'm going to get banned. I'm going to get banned. It's going to be gone, finished, done, over. I'll be out the window. Two, I get banned all the time on TikTok. I literally get, and I don't even know what I say. A lot of the times I don't know what I'm getting banned for. Three, my battery is at 2%, and that's about to go. And we don't want you guys going without me saying goodbye, do you? You'd rather have me say goodbye, right? Listen, guys, if you want to continue this live stream, I'm going to be over on YouTube. Well, I hope for the next half hour, 45 minutes, an hour. If this cold weather doesn't get me, I'm going to be over there for a while. If you want, please, you're most welcome. You are most welcome. Anyway, you guys on TikTok, I'm going to close you guys down. You guys are fantastic. You're beautiful. You're amazing. I'm going to close you guys down now. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I will see you later. Are we off? No, we're not off. Right, we're off. We are off. We are off. Right, let me close that down. God, it's so cold. Are you all right there, mate? I know. So I've got my friend in the back, Rob. Bobby in the back, sipping on yak. It's real cold in here tonight, guys. You can't. I don't know if I can move the camera. Move the camera. No, I can't move the camera. Like, if you could see him out the back there, he's curled up with his Crocs on and his big white socks. He looks totally gay. He's got a blanket over him, and he looks like a Calais refugee. Yeah. He does. He looks like a refugee from one of the refugee camps in Dunkirk.
It's crazy.
It is absolutely freezing. Absolutely freezing. Right, let me jump down and get some. April is saying Rob needs a blanket and a beer. Well, we've got blankets. We've got blankets. We've got blankets and we've got beers. Let me go and get. I'm going to pour myself on in a second. Let me jump up and get some comments. Look, guys, if you're joining for the first time, if you look at this headline, prepare now. I want people to put themselves in that mindset, right? Where, God. It's so cold. It's so cold. I want people to put themselves in that mindset right now. Imagine the news tomorrow morning, right? You wake up tomorrow morning, you're scrolling through your phone and you see you wake up tomorrow morning and you see breaking news. The United States are ready to invade Iran. There's troops going. The Iranians have closed the Strait of Hormuz. Missiles are going everywhere. There's gas oil separation, plants being set on fire. There's all sorts of crazy stuff happening. What do you think will happen? Like, what do you think will happen in the United Kingdom? We already know from earlier on today. So if you guys were on the live stream earlier on today, I gave a little monologue. And I talked about how, well, let me throw this out there. I've still got it. Hang on. So earlier on today, we were talking about the president of Iran stating in an interview on the website of the Supreme Leader that they are in a total war with the United States, Israel, and Europe. We already know, guys, that from previous videos that I've done, there could be, and I think this is a low number. I think this is a very low number. We already know that there could be hundreds of sleeper cells active in the United Kingdom. We already know that. So if Iran becomes at war with, as they perceive it, America, Israel, and Europe, do you think they're going to activate those sleeper cells? I mean, it's only a couple of emails, right? It's like a couple of emails. You know, lads, activate. Go do your sleeper cell stuff. I would say they absolutely will. And in that context, what do you think would happen? And are you ready? What would be the things that you would rush out to buy? What would be the things that you would wish you had done? You know, and this is what people like kind of, you know, if you think worst, obviously some of these things are not, you know, it's just not feasible. A lot of things are not feasible, but a lot of things are feasible. Do things now. Do things now. Don't wait. Let me jump up and get some chat. PC1 is saying, evening, everyone. Evening to PC1. Templarette Millie is saying hello all. And let's all give a big thumbs up to Templarette Millie. John Giles is saying, coming to a city near you. Yes, it absolutely is. Let me jump to you. Let me give you guys the is it this one? Hang on. Oh, that's got paywall. So there was an Afghan man. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this on the BBC. I'll be able to share it with you. Yeah, here we are. So I'll share this with you. So you know how we do pattern recognition, right? We do pattern recognition on this channel. We say, right, okay, are there bad people? Are there bad people? And if there are bad people, is there anything that connects them? What is the pattern? what's the pattern? You know, what's the pattern that connects these people? So let me share this with you guys for a second. I've not read this, so I'll be reading this for the first time. Afghan man. Look, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can see this for yourselves. I'm not making this up. I'm reading this off the mainstream media, okay? I'm literally reading this, all right? Afghan man arrested after crowbar rampage at Merseyside hospital, leaving 5 injured. That's what the headline says. All right. I'm not adding anything to that. What I want to do right now, though, is I want to give you guys an opportunity to put pattern recognition. I want to give you guys an opportunity to put pattern recognition in the chat. I don't know the answer to this. Is this the first time? Is this the first time that an Afghan man's been arrested for something violent? I don't know. What do you guys think? An Afghan national has been arrested after 5 people were assaulted in a Merseyside hospital. Who goes to a hospital to assault people? Officers were called to Newton Community Hospital in Newton Le Willows just after 12 p.m. So this was in the afternoon, right? Following a report, a man had attacked several people with a weapon, which may have been a crowbar. Merseyside police said the man was believed to have attended the hospital to request an appointment, but became increasingly agitated when his request was declined and he was asked to leave. Listen, I'm just going to throw it out there, and I'll be honest with you. The healthcare system in Afghanistan although you think, do you know what? Let me rephrase that so I don't get the video banned. I believe the healthcare system in the United Kingdom is better than the healthcare system in Afghanistan. He was then said to have damaged a counter on the premises before assaulting several others inside the hospital. Let's see what else happened. Keeps going up. Those who were injured are currently being treated by paramedics at a hospital for injuries which are not believed to be life-threatening. St. Helens neighborhood superintendent Sarah Rotherham, good old Sarah Rotherham, said, "We were called, to reports of a man of no description behaving aggressively at the hospital who had assaulted a number of people. Officers attended immediately and the male was swiftly located and arrested. Paramedics attended at the hospital attended. Yeah, that's terrible punctuation, right? Paramedics attended at the hospital and carried out, terrible, whatever. Paramedics attended and carried out first aid to those who had been injured. I would like to take this opportunity for anyone witness to contact us. So, I don't know, guys. Are you doing pattern recognition? Is anybody doing pattern recognition? And I don't know the answer to this question. This is a question. Was this one of the 20,000 that were brought in on Starmer's, Starmer's initial, I'm going to bring a load of Afghans to the United Kingdom because reasons. In fact, you know what, actually, we blame Keir Starmer, but that wasn't under Keir Starmer. That was under the Tories. Sorry, guys, I'm just jumping up. Region would like to have a beer for script. We should have a beer with subscribers. If we did a meetup one day, I'd like to, after all, watch all your lives. Where would that be, guys? How would that work? Like, logistically, how would that work? Listen, we've got Bobby in the back sipping on yak, right? We've got Bobby in the back sipping on yak. He's under 3 blankets. He's got a broken leg. How's your leg, Rob?
It's better.
Shout louder.
Better.
Can you hear him? Shout louder.
Better.
Mate, that is a gay shout.
Wow.
That's it.
So cold.
He's saying he's too cold to shout. It is absolutely freezing, guys. It's absolutely freezing here. If someone says they're at war with me, my response will be instant and violent. And I think we're talking about the Iranians there, saying that they are at war with the United States, Israel, and Europe. I'm not making that up, guys. That's what they're saying. Band again, he's saying, I've got a brandy. I'm sat against the radiator, 3 layers of clothing and cozy. Yeah, I don't have that, unfortunately. Baron, Baron, I'm not too sure about your thumbnail, Baron. Baron's got a thumbnail, and he's saying hi all, but he's got a black cube as a thumbnail, and I'm not sure how I feel about that black cube. It may be something innocently. Band again, he's saying 3 more years of Stormageddon. We have, guys, we've got 3 more years of Stormageddon at least. For everybody who look, guys, I'll throw this out there now, and I'll put myself on. I'll put myself out there in the public record, and I will say quite openly. I don't think Keir Starmer's going before the next election. Not a chance. He's too embedded in the. He's too embedded with everything. He's doing it like people think that he's doing a bad job. Well, that's your perspective. What if, just go with me, guys. Go with me on go with me on a total hypothetical conspiracy theorist rant. Okay, go with me on a conspiracy theory here. What if Keir Starmer's real goals were to destabilize the United Kingdom to usher in a United States takeover? What if that was the real goal of Keir? What if that was the real aim of Keir Starmer? I'd say he's doing pretty well, right? I would say he's doing pretty well. Yeah, okay. I've actually got this up here. So, what do you think of the news that NATO forces tried to execute Putin with a drone swarm? So, first of all, it wasn't NATO, it was the Ukrainians. Yes, I accept that, I totally accept that, a lot of this intelligence will have been from NATO, and a lot of this intelligence, and maybe even the equipment, may or may not have been from NATO. So I totally accept that. But just, we've got to understand this was a Ukrainian strike, right? So let me share this with you real quick. That one. So when we're talking about this strike, first of all, like my personal opinion, I think it's fair game. Honestly, I do. A lot of people don't think you should target leaders, but I kind of do. I think like better to target the leaders than as far as I'm concerned, it's better to target the leaders than the private soldiers who don't make any decisions, right? You can take out let's just say that there was a drone attack at somewhere at location X, right? And that drone attack took out, I don't know, 1,000 conscripts. What effect do you think that will have to the Russians? None. I would say none. Now, if you imagine a drone strike that took out Putin, what effect would that have on the Russians? That would have a huge effect, So this is, and I'm not wishing, I think the whole war should stop. I think they're all ridiculous. I don't want to see any more blood. But, these guys are at war. So I think Zelensky's fair game. I think all the NATO leaders, I think they're all fair game. It's a war. It's literally a war. And these things happen in a war. So let's go off the article. This is the first time I've read it. Ukraine war latest. Kremlin repeats claim of mass attack targeting Putin's home, but Kiev calls out signature tactic. Okay, so I think they're throwing dirt on it. Look, guys, the reality is we don't know. I don't know. The Kremlin has doubled down on its claim of a mass attack by Ukraine targeting a home of Vladimir Putin. Have you seen his home? Have you seen where Putin lives? He's doing well for himself. The Kremlin has doubled down on a claim that of a mass attack by Ukraine targeting a home of Vladimir Putin. But Kiev calls it a signature Russian tactic. I think they're talking about misinformation and just claiming it happened when it didn't. Meanwhile, European leaders discussed the war today after Volodymyr Zelensky said, there's one main obstacle to peace. Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? No, they're right. So I'm not going to go down here, guys. In fact, let me try and find what else we've got. Yeah, not interested in that. Not interested in the Indians. Why pantomime? Oh, this is funny. Do you know what? I am gonna read this. I'll read this until it gets boring, right? So if you've been following me for a while, I've been saying that this whole thing is a pantomime. You know, yes, of course, we want peace negotiation, but we want to meet in person, but it has to be Friday because in Russian military circles, we can only meet on Friday. Oh, of course, you cannot meet this Friday, so it will be next Friday, but not next Friday. I'm busy. It's just a pantomime. The whole thing's a pantomime. It really is. I think that's a good word to use. Why pantomime peace process is absolutely. Why pantomime peace process is likely to drag on into 2026, 2027, 2028 until the Russians have achieved their objectives. That's what's going to happen, all right? There are two crucial issues still remaining despite diplomatic push to end the war. I don't think there's a real push to end the war. That's the view of Russian analyst Mark Galotti. I think he's Gallo. I don't know his name. Mark, good old Mark. An honorary professor at the University College of London who's been speaking to someone. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. So, in direct response to the question, which was, what do you think of the news that NATO forces tried to execute Putin? I'm going to argue both sides of this now because I genuinely don't know. Is it possible that the Ukrainians sent a drone swarm to hit one of Putin's houses? Absolutely, 100%. They have the capability, they have the technology, they have the will, and they have the motive, right? That's the reality. Do I think Putin's fair game? Yeah, absolutely. Like I think Keir Starmer's fair game. Like I think all the leaders, should. Like if you want to get your country into a war, you should clearly be fair game, right? Like if you want to push your young private soldiers into a war to leave their families, leave their wives, leave their children, you should be fair game as the leader, right? Well, let me know what you guys think. I think you should be fair game as the leader. Do I think this could be a deception operation by the Russians? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, has anyone seen any footage of this? Has anyone seen any destroyed buildings? Has anyone seen anything? Like, you know, so we don't know. I don't know. That's the real answer. What do I think about it? I'm 50-50 whether it even happened. Right, let me jump down, guys. Let me jump down and get some more chat. Oh, God, honestly, it's so cold in here. It's so cold in here. Sean, what's your take on Russia saying Ukraine tried to... Right, okay, yeah. I think I just answered that, Debbie. I think I answered that. I think I did. I think I answered that. I don't know. I don't have any inside information on this. I'm literally 50-50. Could I don't want to just repeat myself again. Could the Ukrainians do this? Absolutely. Could the Russians be lying about this? Absolutely. Do I know? Not a chance. Sean, you're sounding ill. Guys, it's absolutely freezing here. What temperature is it? 2. It's 2 degrees. It is 2 degrees in here, guys. It's 2 degrees. Let me jump down and get some more comments on the chat. Amir the Cricket is saying, all eyes on Iran. Thank you, Amir the Cricket, for bringing me back on track. Thank you, Amir the Cricket, for bringing me back on track. Look, guys, the crux of this live stream has been Iran is ready for an invasion. The situation on the ground right now in Iran is crazy. Only a couple of days ago, I did a live stream. I think the title of the live stream was something like "Biggest Terror Attack." No, it wasn't. Sleeper cells in the United Kingdom or something. I did a live stream and I was telling you about what had been released in the mainstream media about potential sleeper cells operating in the United Kingdom. Now, there was this guy and he was operating undercover in London in these terror networks or whatever. And he was saying there are potentially hundreds of these terror networks, terror sleeper cells active in the United Kingdom. And he said a lot of them have Iranian influence. So as Amir the Cricket is saying, you know, God, as Amir the Cricket is saying, all eyes on Iran, because these sleeper cells could be, these sleeper cells could be activated very quickly. Baron is saying, turn your heating on, you tight arse. I don't have any heating out here, so I'm sat in my extension, right? I'm sat in my extension. It's like part finished. It's part finished. So if you look at the roof's not finished. Yeah, do you know what, actually? The roof's not finished. The electricity is not in here properly. I'm running an extension lead from the house. The doorway is not complete properly. And I don't have heating. What I want to do, I want to put a log burner. I want to put a log burner in here with like maybe 2 or 3 radiators with like a back boiler. So I can't turn the heating on because I don't have any. Michelle Pickering is saying, Donald Trump also said he was glad they didn't give the Ukrainians Tomahawks. Honestly, I think this is going to bite the Americans in the arse. I do. I think this is really going to bite the Americans in the arse. The US Tomahawks have not been tested against Russian air defense. That's the reality. Russian, US Tomahawks, who make them? Is it Raytheon? I think it's Raytheon. US Tomahawks have not been tested against Russian air defense, and that's kind of what they were built for. The Ukrainians are building something, a competitor called, I think it's called the Flamingo. I'm pretty sure it is. It's definitely called the Flamingo. Go and Google this, guys, yourselves. It's a long-range cruise missile. You see, what I think is going to happen is the United States are going to... Okay, right. Imagine your country X, right? Your country X. And you're looking to buy some long-range cruise missiles, right? You're trying to buy something. You're like, right, I'm in the market. I need a couple hundred of long-range cruise missiles. Normally, you would go to the United States and you would go with Tomahawk because they are, they are golden standard. They've got a long history. I mean, if you look at the history of Raytheon, like Raytheon is a British company. They started doing radar parts in the Second World War. After the Second World War, they moved to America because the Americans kept funding them. Anyway, sorry, little history lesson. So the Tomahawk missile by Raytheon has been the golden standard, and that system just keeps getting better and better. It's never been tested. It's never been tested in real world conditions against the Russians, right? So now, if you're country X, right, and you've got the choice, you're out there, you want some, I don't know, you're whoever, you want some long range cruise missiles, right? Are you going to choose the United States that are the branded option? They're very, very, very expensive, but they've never been tested. And that's the reality. They've never been tested against Russian air defense. Or are you going to go with the cheaper Ukrainian option that has been tested against Russian air defense? I think the decision not to give the Ukrainians Tomahawk missiles is going to bite the United States in the arse financially. It's not going to bring them down, obviously, but I do think they are going to feel that pinch. Also, the opposite side of that, argument would be the Americans would only give the Ukrainians the. Look, guys, it's all down to money, right? It's all down to money, right? The other end of that spectrum, or the other side of that argument, would be that the United States didn't want to give the Ukrainians older Tomahawk missiles that would have been intercepted by Russian air defense, because that would have brought their sales down, right? It's all about international sales. It's literally, this whole war is about international sales. God, it's cold in here. I'm dying. Oh, God. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very short...
UK Met Office issued warning for heavy snow tonight.
Okay, breaking news just in from Bobby in the back, sipping on yak. Shout it out.
Snow tonight.
Make it more dramatic.
Can't breathe.
You can't breathe in here. Snow, Met Office is warning heavy snow for tonight. Honestly, it's so cold in here. Right, listen, guys, I am going to close this down. I'm absolutely dying in here. Andy is saying, I'm sweating here in Dubai. Well, good for you. Good for you. Yeah, look, guys, it's so cold in here. I've not even got a beer. It's so cold. I've not got beer. I'm going to go in the house. I'm going to close this down. The crux, I know this is a short one. I do apologize. Normally, I like to stay on for about an hour. I just want to throw this out there again. This situation. Oh, hang on. Donna, can you repeat it? I can't find it. Oh, there we are. Ah, yeah. Okay. So Donna is saying China fired missiles to Taiwan. Yeah, so this is an exercise. So the Chinese at the moment, I think it's right now, or it might have stopped, but it was either yesterday or it's happening today. There was a Chinese military exercise, and they encircled Taiwan, and they were firing a lot of missiles, and the Chinese are claiming this is some sort of exercise, but the reality is all exercises, and look, guys, I've been in the military for a long time, and I know that all exercises are there's no such thing as exercise. It's an operational rehearsal. Every exercise you do in the military, you're rehearsing a likely scenario. So if you I don't know, if you're airborne forces, you're rehearsing doing a compound raid on some sort, being whatever, So this Chinese exercise, it could be argued that it is a rehearsal for some sort of operation. Now, if you look at the operation that they're doing, it's a no-brainer what they are rehearsing, and I do think that is coming at some point. KK is saying, take it easy and get well soon. What do you mean get well soon? I don't get sick. Raven don't get sick. Did you see me out running today? Like, the cold weather was hitting me, but it was just bouncing off me. I'm only pretending to be coughing, so I know you guys won't feel bad. I'm only pretending to be sick. I'm only pretending to have a little bit of a cough, so you guys don't feel bad. I don't get sick. I'm like Raven. Raven don't get sick. Raven's a powerful entity. Slimmy said, I've seen your nose running. You haven't. My nose is not running. It doesn't run. My nose doesn't run. It runs forwards. It never runs backwards. Raven's nose only runs forwards. Yeah, look, guys, I'm going to close this down now. It's absolutely freezing. Like we just heard, there's a weather report, breaking news. In fact, let me try and get this up here, and then I will close this down now. We could. There we are. Right, let's jump. Let me jump this up. Let me share this. So snow, ice, and colder weather to bring in the new year with warnings issued. Look at them making a little igloo. Have we got amber cold alerts? I've not got anything, mate. Where did you get that? Google Met Office, right? Okay. So Rob's saying that there's a Met Office warning for heavy snow tonight in the United Kingdom somewhere. Anyway, look, I'm gonna get back in the house where we've got a fire. We've got a fire and we've got like an oven and we've got stuff. So I am gonna close this down now. I'll be back on tomorrow morning. I will, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10. Don't be late. If I've frozen into an icicle, I'll do the live stream from my bed or something. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys later. I bid you good evening. You guys have been fantastic and beautiful. I'll see you later.